keeps insisting that we are back to, and I think this is something that the finance minister has also, pre-COVID levels of growth.
For economic growth or GDP, once economic activity hasn't come to a halt or a standstill, it gets bound to be a growth, isn't it? Yes. But then the most important thing is that, or the indicators that you have to look at for instance, is that growth, what is propelling it, and then two, what is the derivatives or the outcomes of that growth. For instance, if you say we are back to pre-COVID era, what is your debt to GDP as we speak, or what is your debt level as we speak? Is it at sustainable levels? No. What is your inflation as we speak? Is it also back to the pre-COVID levels? What is your balance of payment as we speak? You'd have to, a few weeks ago or so, you have to pump in a lot of reserves into the forest market to more or less do some artificial reversal of the fortunes of the cedi. I can go on, I can take any other indicator other than the GDP growth that we were talking about. Are you servicing your debt like you were doing pre-COVID levels? No. You've pushed that to 2025 for somebody else to come and do that for you. So, I mean, what is even your food security level as we speak? I can go on and on. I can take all other indicators other than the GDP growth that he's talking about.
I think I need a full conversation for this whole matter, but briefly. Because I realize that when you're talking about
the issue of pre-COVID, yes, it will, like, GDP growth alone doesn't run an economy, it doesn't pay debts. What is your revenue, levels vis-a-vis to GDP level? What is your, tax performance?
Okay.
So we can take any other indicator.
I apologize for raising the issue. It's another. I even considering not.
No, but
I'm even considering not even asking you, because now if it will take a whole.
but you see, simply, let me say, I think that this economic jargons, we need to deconstruct some of these concepts. Now, what was the pre-COVID level price of cement? And what is the price of cement today?
Price of
ordinary economics that people, base on and make decisions.
Well, I think that, sometimes we should be honest to ourselves. The way we compute our GDP needs to change. It should be income related.
Yes. Okay.
Now, if you bring in a loan and you start building some roads, then you pay monies out, then activities are ongoing, then you capture that as growth. Then what about when it's time for payment? Okay. How is that related to? Now, GDP computation, it is about volumes and price.
Activities.
This is a country where we have seen 54% inflation, which have subsided to the regions of 25, 26 and all that. You have an MPR rate of October or so, I think 27, but before October it's 30%.
We can go to before.
When you go before, it is.
No, when the financial sector thing was done, what was NPR?
Exactly. So you have growth, but that growth is not demand driven, not in volumes, but the growth is propelled by price.
Okay.
And that price is based on inefficiencies.
I beg you. The more you talk, the more questions come to mind. So I beg you. So let's leave it here. But Ochami is in. He will talk about with the mid-morning show shortly. But before that, I want to go around briefly. And Doc, I'll start with you. What do you think is the lesson that the party that has been given this overwhelming mandate should carry into government from this election?
Accountability. accountability, and this must demonstrate its commitment to accountability right from the very first week it assumes power. Accountability within the party, accountability outside the party. Everyone who needs to account for anything that he has done, the person must be made to answer. This is what Ghanaians want to see. This is what made Ghanaians vote overwhelmingly for NDC, and so we should see that commitment right from the very first week. Thank you.
Albert,
do what you promise Ghanaians and avoid waste. Live within your means. Respect the opinions of Ghanaians, the views of Ghanaians. When you are doing something and then they tell you, no, what you are doing is not what we voted you for, listen to them and do what they ask you to do. It's that simple. Respect the views of Ghanaians. Avoid waste. The waste we've seen over the years. Don't do that.
me,
I will summarize both and say it's all boils down to competence.
okay.
Get competent people to handle the job. But more so, we all as politicians and players in this democracy must learn one thing. If we fail to learn it now, we will learn it again and again and again. There was a possibility of NPP losing the presidential but keeping some of their seats.
Okay.
The reason why they are swept on both ends is because of that hinge between the executive and the legislature. So you gave no choice to people but to say that, okay, both should go out and let's replace them. So we must learn that quickly and be true to ourselves to change this constitution. And for me, I'm happy to hear President Mahama saying that we are going to look at the constitutional reforms and make sure that we execute it. It has been too long in the back burner. It has stayed too long.
The work was even done already.
The work is done.
Yes.
We should go ahead. We had certain quality on the NPP side that we would have need in Parliament. Unfortunately, the people had to take a decision because we gave them, the Constitution gave them no choice but to vote against both.
Okay.
So that today in the US, you have states that, yes, the president won, but in that same state, you have senators coming from the other party. Because at the end of the day, the Ghanaian is getting informed. The Ghanaian is looking for quality, not just anybody. When we keep doing this, we will suffer unnecessarily from the legislature. And the legislature is what is supposed to keep the fabrics of our democracy together. And therefore, quickly, we must learn a big lesson from this.
Okay. Maybe couple the two. Me, your boy Anan, is a financial analyst. Join us this morning. Member of the NDC in Udududu. That's a big one.